Everybody, lots of news, so let's get right into it. March sales results, I'm going to have a look at those for Australia. Tesla has dropped prices once again. The Model Y long range is now available to order. A few weeks ago, it was indicated that the first power pole charger was in Sydney, but in truth, there was one in Newcastle a few months before that. So I've got a little bit of info on that one. A few weeks ago, we also had a link to the ability to vote for superchargers, and the results are in. So let's have a look at that for Australia. And it's also time to vote again. So it'll be good to do that. Campbelltown Supercharger has opened. That's a V3 charger, so nice and powerful. And interestingly, Polestar's organised drive-in cinema. They call it MOV'IN Car EV Cinema, and you've got to be in an EV to get in there. And if you've got a Polestar, you get in for free. And if you have another car like me, then it's around $50. So let's have a look at all the pieces that are in the mix. The results were interesting. PEVs, so BEVs are battery electric vehicles, and then hybrids and PHEVs are plug-in hybrid vehicles. And BEVs, so battery electric vehicles, are selling more than the hybrids and plug-ins, 6,612 versus 5,816. The results were pretty conclusive that Tesla is number one. In March, 3,578 in total. The first month now that the Model Y has been in front of the Model 3. I think there's been a general decline in passenger vehicles, and everybody seems to be buying SUVs and utes. Polestar had 212, Kia 75, Hyundai just 61, and so on for Porsche and Audi, pretty small numbers. BYD, I don't think they report their results in the same way that Tesla didn't report its results till March last year. It seems like there's 1,061 BYD sales, so it's certainly in second place, if that's right. And I think they're all Atto 3s for the time being. To get some perspective, though, Tesla's down the bottom there is number 10 in the list of models, with the Model 3 and about fifth for the Model Y. And then in terms of brand, Tesla's right down the bottom and comes below Subaru and above Isuzu Utes. So long way to go, to be honest. Let's talk about those price reductions for the Model 3. I hope you didn't hear that. My dog just did a bit of a stretch and a shake. For the Model 3, quite substantial discounts, over $3,000 down for each of the variants. That brings it down to the price when I bought mine back in 2021, which was $59,990. I think from memory was the price I paid when I got mine. So it's kind of gone up and now it's come back down again. And that makes sense given all the supply issues that have happened over the last little while that seem now to be resolved. The Model Y, not so much of a discount, down roughly $400. And the Model Y, can't speak, the Model Y long range is now available. It looks like the wait time is around 2 months. So if you order now, maybe May, maybe June. From history, take those numbers with a grain of salt. I don't think they deliver quite as fast as they hope. The first power pole charger was actually in Newcastle, and that was back in December of last year. There's a little picture of it. Looks really nice down by the water there somewhere in Newcastle. So the one in Forest Lodge on St John's Road is probably the second one in New South Wales, and let's hope there's a lot more. That's near my house, and I drive past it fairly regularly. I've seen one car in there icing it by mistake, and I've seen a few cars in there charging. So it's getting some use, which is nice. Superchargers. Tesla lets us vote for superchargers, and the three that were successful for Australia were Apollo Bay, Southern Cross, and Port Augusta. So not sure where Apollo Bay and Southern Cross are in Australia, but that's good news. the Supercharger voting is open again right now, and so it's worthwhile thinking about who you would like to vote for. You have to be um, you have to have a Tesla basically to vote. And if you look at this one, the maps for Australia, you can see the various locations that are up for votes. There's a few in Melbourne and a few others. I've placed my votes. I think Bateman's Bay and Orange um, are not really sensible votes because they're already funded by New South Wales government. So probably it's better to vote for somewhere else. In truth, we're a long way behind the Koreans, who are at the top of this list at the moment. So there's a whole bunch of locations in Korea that are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think you've got to be in the top 5 to have this happen. So let's all vote. Campbell Campbelltown Supercharger has opened. I think there are 12 stalls in that, and it's a V3, which means it charges really quickly. It's at the Campbelltown Catholic Club. I'm going to try and go out there over the weekend and have a look and maybe take some video, which will be nice. And the next thing to talk about is the EV drive-in. So as I said, this is being sponsored by Polestar, and it seems like only EVs will be allowed in to watch the movies. And there's 5 movies on. Let's go to the next page. They are Operation Fortune, Avatar 2, the Mario Brothers movie, and Dirty Dancing is a bit of an old throwback. And they're the nights that they're on and the dates, and it's $50 a car unless you have a Polestar. As always, please like the video and subscribe if you think you get value out of it. It does take a while to do these, especially the research part. And so I really appreciate it if you can like and subscribe. Thanks very much.